What's up, ladies, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Diana and I'm the creator of Money Boss Mama, and here I love to teach women how to save money, pay off debt, shift their money mindsets, as well as stick to a budget. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it seems like everybody is talking about, or every parent is talking about, and that is the child tax credit. So if you are a mom, this video is for you because I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the child tax credit, as well as answering some of the most asked questions that I have gotten on this credit. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So first things first, what is a child tax credit? This is a tax benefit. It's given to American taxpayers for each qualifying dependent, and the idea is to help families in America support themselves by reducing their tax liability. And the American Rescue Plan has recently increased the amount of the child tax credit from its original amount of $2,000, that's what the normal amount is, to $3,000 for children that are over the age of 6, and then from $2,000 to $3,600 for children who are under the age of 6. And July 15th, these advance payments started going out, and they're called advance payments because if you are receiving them right now, it's going to give you the first half in these payments, and then whenever you go to file your taxes, that is when you will get the remaining amount of the child tax credit. And I know a lot of people are like, well, why is this so important? But this is projected to pull millions of children out of poverty. Yes, we can go back and forth over the debate about, you shouldn't have kids if you can't afford them. Unfortunately, the way life works and the way children are made, it's not that simple. And so regardless of where you stand, it is super important. And this is going to give a huge relief to those families who are the most in need. It literally, even though it may be like a couple hundred extra that they're receiving a month, when you are in poverty, an extra $100 will allow you to get ahead. They actually have a chance now to get ahead. A couple hundred a month is literally going to be what they need to improve their life. It does a lot more for them than maybe for some of us who are getting by and aren't living paycheck to paycheck or make more than our expenses. Some other changes with this child tax credit is that the age limit has been increased. So it has increased from 16 to age 17. So now 17-year-olds are eligible. And what is really cool is that now, even if you did not have enough or don't have enough earned income to file taxes, you are still eligible for this child tax credit. So you can still get the much needed relief that you need, even though you did not make enough to file taxes. And they also increased the income limits for those who do have enough to file taxes. I will put it up on the screen because I know that I am not going to memorize it long enough to say it in this video. So how will these payments work? So as I said in the beginning, the IRS started sending out these payments July 15th, and people are receiving them either through direct deposit or through mail, and no sign up is required as long as you receive your stimulus check or you filed your 2020 tax return or maybe your 2019 tax return. There's nothing that you need to do to sign up for these payments. However, if you do want to change your information, such as signing up for direct deposit, or you need to update your information, such as the number of dependents, they do have a child tax credit update portal that you can find on the IRS site. I will link it down in the description box below just to make it easier to find this, and then you can go and update your information through that portal. Now onto the questions that I have been getting asked through Instagram DM. The first one being, will it affect my federal benefits? So federal benefits such as Medicaid, unemployment insurance, SNAP, WIC, Section 8 or public housing. People want to know, okay, if I'm getting these payments, is it going to affect my federal benefits? And the answer is No, the child tax credit payment, it is not seen as income, so it will not affect the amount that you have been receiving in benefits. Next question, which was a super popular question. It seemed like a lot of people were asking and a lot of people are biting their fingernails over this. And that is, will I owe this money back? I know that we have the option to opt out of the child tax credit payments, and people are like, okay, well, why would you opt out of these payments? Isn't it free money? And should I be worried about owing this money back? I will say that if your income has increased or you've had some type of life change, such as a change to your dependents, then it is possible that you may owe a portion or all of these payments back whenever you go to file your taxes. I will say if you are someone that gets over a couple thousand back at the end of the year and your income has not increased significantly and you haven't like lost a dependent or any other life change like that, I wouldn't worry too much about owing this money back. You may break even. Like for me, my income has increased. But I have not lost any dependents or anything, but I'm not too worried about it because I typically get like $3,000 back in tax refund money. And so I am thinking I'm either going to get at least less than half of that amount back or break even by not opting out of these payments. I will say if you feel like you would benefit more by getting these payments every single month, that rather than waiting until you file your taxes, then you can accept the payments, but just try to set a portion back. If you are someone and you're thinking you may owe this money back because your income has increased or something like that, set a portion of each payment back in a just in case fund. And then when you go to file your taxes, if you don't owe anything back, use your money. If you do, then you can pull from that just in case fund to help cover whatever it is that you're owing back. Next question was from expectant mothers who are wondering if they would still be eligible for the child tax credit even though the payments have already started and they have not yet had their baby. And the answer to that is yes. So if you are not due to deliver until like August, September, those months after the child tax payments have already started, you are still eligible. You can wait until the end of the year whenever you regularly file your taxes to claim the child tax credit, because obviously you're going to add your dependent, or whenever you have your child. So if you're due in August, you will go and add the dependent through the child tax credit update portal, so you can get the baby added that way. But I will say, be mindful that you will need a social security number for each dependent. So it takes a little while after the baby is born to get the social security number. You can still go in and plug in your information, but just know that a social security number will be needed in order for the child to qualify. And next question that I was asked was, is there a maximum number of children that can be claimed under the child tax credit? Good thing is no, there is no maximum number of kids you can claim. So if you have 8 children, you can claim all 8 children under the child tax credit. There is no limit. If you have 10 children, you can claim all 10 children. And that's going to be super helpful for these large families that are low income, because you can get equal amount of help for each child. Now I want to talk about some ways that you can use these payments to help set you up for financial success. And the first way is to set up sinking funds for those expenses that seem to always take you down. I hear it all the time. I have said this before. It seems like when you get your finances stable, your savings stable, things like that, something always comes out the woodworks and tries to take you down. I'm talking about dental services, medical services, auto repairs, home repairs, things like that. But a lot of times those expenses that seem to hit us unexpectedly should not really be seen as unexpected. It's probably just because we were not organized or proactive, and so it seems unexpected. So if you are someone that's always saying, you know, I get my savings up and something always happens, what is that something that always happens regularly? And then set up a sinking fund for that That way, whenever those things do happen, it's not messing with the financial progress that you have made. Second thing I recommend doing is applying some of these payments to your debts, especially if you are not a high earner, so you don't have a lot of money to apply extra to your minimum payment. And depending on which balance that you plan to focus on first, whether it's the smallest balance or the balance that's taking up the most money in your budget, this carries the potential to cut your debt payoff time down tremendously, as well as saving you more money because you are saving money on interest. Third thing I recommend doing is to pay up your child care bill. This is something that I will be doing personally. Childcare is expensive. It's ridiculous how expensive childcare is. It's pretty much the same cost as tuition, and I know that it is a huge expense in a lot of people's budget, and it just makes it hard to progress. And so I know that these payments may not cover all of your childcare costs, but I know that this extra money is still going to offer you a lot of much needed relief so that you can start progressing and making more progress towards your goals. So you can set up a sinking fund for childcare. That is what I have done. And then whatever I am needing extra to pay the childcare bill, I'm going to pull it from the sinking fund. I am going to try to pay most of it from my own income, but whatever it is that I'm needing to pull in, I have the peace of mind of knowing that that money is sitting aside for that purpose. And next tip that I have is to set up your emergency fund. If you don't have at least 3 months worth of living expenses set aside in a savings account ready for use, then I recommend using some of these payments, if you can, to start getting your emergency fund to 3 months worth. And if you don't really know how much you need to save, setting up a budget is really going to make this part super easy because you have all of your regular expenses listed out. If you don't have a budget, take some time to sit down, list out all of the expenses you are paying for monthly. I recommend including groceries, gas, things like that as well, in addition to your regular bills like your rent or your mortgage, your electric bill, cell phone bill, because cell phones are now more of a necessity in my opinion. We're in the year 2021. So when you list out all of your expenses, tally them up, add up how much each expense is costing you, and that's going to be the monthly amount of your expenses. Depending on your monthly amount, times it by 3 to get how much you would need for 3 months, and then set that as your goal. When you hit that goal, you know that you have at least 3 months worth of living expenses that you can fall back on just in case you lose a job, your partner loses a job, or anything like that. All right, ladies, so that wraps up this video about the child tax credit and some ways that you can use this money to your advantage. I hope this was really helpful to you all. And if you are new here and you are a lady and you want to learn more about money, be sure to subscribe because I do have weekly videos that I upload. But in the meantime, I will catch you all in the next one.